Before we talk about wastewater plants, before we talk about bacteria, before we talk about anything technical, let's start with something you already know because you live it. This morning, did you brush your teeth? When you rinsed your mouth, where did that water go? Did you take a shower? When shampoo foam disappeared into the drain, where did it go? When you washed dishes, did the water vanish or did it travel? Hold that question for a moment, because what went down your drain wasn't just water. It carried toothpaste foam, hair, tiny bits of food, maybe medicine you swallowed last night. You might think you are here to learn wastewater treatment, but the truth is, you have already been part of wastewater treatment your entire life, not as an outsider, as someone living inside the system. Now that you've noticed your sink and your drain, let's widen the camera. Imagine rain falling on a city street. It hits cars, sidewalks, dog waste, leaves, dust, tiny pieces of metal and plastic. It washes over restaurant dumpsters, grocery store loading docks, gas stations, parking lots, construction sites. And then, just like your sink water, the rain doesn't disappear. It moves. It flows into gutters, into drains, into underground pipes. Now, zoom out even further. Above those pipes, homes, restaurants, hospitals. From restaurants come grease, food scraps, wash water. From hospitals, cleaning chemicals, disinfectants, medicine traces. From factories, rinse water, metal shavings, heated water, leftover processed liquids. From car washes, soap, brake dust, oil film. From construction sites, sand, soil, cement dust, all of it moving, all of it carried by water. And while that's happening, somewhere downstream, a child is fishing in a river. That same moving water, the water from streets, from homes, from businesses, is slowly traveling toward places where life depends on it. So let me ask you again, with a bigger picture in your mind. When you wash dishes, when a hospital drains a sink, when rain hits a parking lot, where does it go? Because that one question, where does it go, is the first door into engineering thinking. Now we introduce an important word. Everything that water picks up, everything that changes it from clean to used, is called a pollutant. A pollutant is simply this: anything in the water that should not be there in that amount and that can harm people, animals, rivers, or equipment. It doesn't have to look dirty, it doesn't have to smell bad, it just has to be in the wrong place or in the wrong concentration. Sometimes we call them contaminants, impurities, wastes, but pollutant is the big umbrella word. And now you can see something important. Wastewater is not just water. It is water carrying pollutants. Let's organize these pollutants. Everything carried by water in a city usually fits into a few simple buckets. 1. The leftovers of life. Things that once were food, plants, or living matter. Food scraps, grease, paper, human waste, leaves, grass, coffee grounds. These are the pollutants that rot, decay, and smell if left alone. Number 2, the grit and tiny particles, the small physical stuff you can sometimes see: sand, dirt, tire dust, metal shavings, bits of plastic, fabric fibers from laundry. These are solid pollutants, tiny solids that travel suspended in water. Number 3, the sharp and reactive stuff. Things that don't rot but can sting, corrode, or poison if concentrated. Cleaning chemicals, disinfectants, ammonia from urine, bleach, acids, fuel residues, paint traces. These are chemical pollutants, often invisible, sometimes powerful even in very small amounts. These don't rot, but they can sting, corrode, or poison if concentrated. They include the chemicals of modern life. And number 4, the invisible hitchhikers, the microscopic life you cannot see. Germs, bacteria, viruses, organisms from human and animal waste. These are biological pollutants. No color, no warning sign, but very real impact. And all of this mixes together into one flowing underground river. So let's answer the question. What do you think happens next? Does the water A, dissolve and disappear? B, sit underground forever? C, travel somewhere? Now, close your eyes for a moment. Imagine you are one drop of water. You begin your life inside a sink. You slide down porcelain. You spin into darkness. You join other drops. You move into a pipe. It's dark. You are moving, and you are carrying all kinds of pollutants. But you are not dirty. You are just water carrying the story of a city. You keep moving. The pipe curves. You feel vibrations. Another sink drains somewhere above you. A toilet flushes in another room. A restaurant empties a mop bucket. A factory releases rinse water. More drops join you. You are no longer a single drop. You are part of a crowd flowing. The pipe gets wider. Other houses connect. Other streets connect. Without anyone noticing, your home water becomes neighborhood water, then city water. Now imagine the camera slowly rising upward. Above you, cars drive, restaurants cook, hospitals operate. They don't see you, but you are carrying pieces of their lives. The tunnel slopes downward. Gravity pulls you. You travel beneath streets, beneath parks, beneath entire communities. And somewhere ahead, there is a river. And beyond that river, there are fish. And beyond those fish, there are people who drink that water. Stay with that feeling. You thought you were just a drop in a sink, but you are moving through a living network, from a house to a business to a street through an entire neighborhood and a city, all the way towards a river and another community. Nothing disappeared. It moved. There is no away. There is only downstream. And somewhere, right now, someone is living downstream from you. Now we can name the illusion. Many people believe, when I flush, it's gone. That is an illusion. Waste does not disappear. It moves. Clear water does not always mean clean water. Smell does not tell the full story. Silence underground does not mean nothing is happening. So here's the truth you will carry through your entire career. Nothing disappears, everything moves. And if everything moves, then someone must manage that movement. Look at the system in 2 directions. Upstream, homes, restaurants, hospitals, factories. Downstream, a river, fish, boats, drinking water intakes, families. Between upstream and downstream, there must be a guardian, not a superhero, a trained person, an operator, a technician, an engineer, someone who understands what most people never think about. Water travels, and it affects real lives. So how do guardians think? Not with complicated math at first. They think with 4 simple questions every time they face water. Where did this water come from? What did it pick up? Where is it going? Who will meet it next? Notice what just happened? You moved from my sink to my community. That is systems thinking, and you already do this in real life. If you spill oil into a sink, you know it goes somewhere. If the drain clogs, you know something built up. That's not being good at science. That's being good at seeing relationships. That is what engineers do. You've been doing it, you just never called it engineering. So let me tell you something important. You are not here to memorize facts. You are here to become someone who understands invisible movement. You are learning to see what others ignore. Most people flush and forget. You will flush and understand. That is the beginning of professional thinking. And that's why we will learn this whole program through one character, one drop of water that will travel through pipes, enter a treatment plant, meet machines, meet microbes, leave cleaner, enter a river. That drop is our storyteller. If you can follow one drop, you can understand a whole plant. And if you can understand a whole plant, you can operate one. So now, let's see where it truly goes.